It's just about empowering people to be that little bit more independent.
G'day, I'm Deborah Caldo, and welcome to the Red Giraffe Solutions Expanding Worlds podcast, where we aim to support you as you help your young person with additional needs plan for their future. A future where they are safe, secure, and live a rewarding and fulfilling life. From around the world, I share stories and share solutions from people making this possible right now. I'm a parent of a young person with additional needs, so I understand the challenges. Many of the people I've interviewed on this podcast have already helped me design a better future for my daughter, and I hope that they might help you as well to imagine what's possible for your young person. I've talked about technology and assistive technology on the podcast quite a few times, and there's a reason for that. I truly believe that technology is one of the reasons that my daughter will get to live a much more independent life, particularly when I'm no longer around, because it will enable her to do more things for herself in a way that is safe for her and for the people around her. If you follow what we do at Red Giraffe Solutions, you'll already know that a lot of what we do is based around the use of technology. But like anything, this is not only knowing about what options are out there, but it's also knowing how each of those options will actually work for the individual and do what they need it to do for them. And that's essentially the job of my guest on this week's episode, Alex Barker from AbilityNet. Alex's job is to help people find technology that's right for them. I want to get right into my conversation with Alex. So rather than me run through Alex's background, I think it's better to hear from him, because his lived experience is one of the reasons he is able to do his job so effectively. Alex, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Hi, so my name's Alex Barker, and I've been the disability consultant for AbilityNet for over 20 years. And one of the reasons I love doing my job is because I've got a lived experience of disability. And I think if you manage to bring your lived experience, it's wonderful, because when I'm talking to a client and they say, do you know how difficult it is to work if you've got a disability? I can say, yes. Or they say, do you know how hard it is for me to be at university? I can say yes, rather than someone else saying, oh, I think I can, and not really having any idea. So I've got quite a rare condition called Measley syndrome. Only 500 people in the world have it. And basically it means that I've got a paralysed face and I don't have all my fingers. So for me, technology was a real game changer. Back in the day, when I was 5, the teachers gave me a pencil to write with. They actually found me a foam grip that I could put round the pencil to grip it more effectively. That was my first piece of assistive technology. And without technology, I do not know what I would be doing. I managed to go to college, university, and have a full-time job, even though I've only got 2 fingers on each hand. And I think that's what makes me passionate about the job that I do.
What exactly is the role of AbilityNet?
So AbilityNet is a national organisation. We've been going 26 years, and our aim is to help people use technology. That might be at home, that might be at work, that might be in education. Because now, more than ever, people need to use technology. We can make recommendations on the sort of technology that you might want to use. Let me give you an example. I spoke to a lady last week who was a harpist, and she wanted to be able to read harp music on a larger scale. So we managed to find a way that she could magnify her music to be quite a lot bigger than it is now, so she can continue to play the harp. And with the right technology, she can continue to do that. And I think one of the things that's great is that people think that sometimes the solutions are going to be really, really complicated and really, really expensive. But sometimes the best solutions can be found inbuilt to your device.
I was just going to ask you that, actually, because what you're talking about there is something really, really simple that's already available.
Yeah.
Do you think that's what happens? People think, I need something, but I know it's going to cost me a lot of money, or it's going to be really complicated. I won't know how to use it.
When I was at school in the 80s, people used assistive technology and it was gigantic. It was like sort of meters wide. Now, if you want to use technology, a lot of it is built into your own phone. So, for example, a lot of people have got dyslexia or cognitive impairments where they aren't able to read text. But what people forget is that you've got text to speech built into your device and you can have text read out to you. So I'm just going to select a little piece of text.
Made the discovery on Sunday. When they removed the wooden panel, it revealed a large slab of stone.
So the people say, I can't read. And I say, well, that's okay. Why don't you actually get the device to read out to you? Speech to text is built into Apple devices and Android devices, and you can also get it on your Windows computer. And it's just about empowering people to be that little bit more independent. I've spoken to people who are blind and I've gone to see them and they've got a stack of mail. And I go, how often does someone read your mail? And they say, well, every 2 or 3 weeks. And I say, look, it's a free app called Seeing AI where you can take a picture of a document or a letter and have it read out to you independently. And I think sometimes if you have a disability, you get quite used to having to ask for help. And actually, I hate asking for help. I get really frustrated when I can't do something. But actually, technology can help you and it's built in, and no one needs to know that you're dyslexic because most people now have got smartphones. You can just get your smartphone out, take a picture, and you can listen to what it says. And I think it's really important to say to people, it's built in. We know there's a cost of living crisis, but actually, you don't need to pay for a lot of the technology that you're going to want to need.
What's the barriers there? Because most of us have all this tech on our phone and we don't use it. Why aren't people aware of all this technology?
I don't think the phone manufacturers make enough of the accessible technology that's built in. I think there's a misconception that technology that costs, say, £2,000 or £500 is actually going to be better than the built-in technology. And I also think that the people who make assistive technology are very, very good at what they do, and they've got a lot of advertising power behind them. So if you're looking for a device, say, to help you have text spoken out, you'll see a lot of the big brands on Google. Then, say, somewhere near the bottom, they might find out that your iPhone or your Android device can actually read text out to you. So I don't think there's one simple reason, but I think it's probably a mix of different reasons. I think one of the issues is that, smartphones have really changed the way that people use them. So you've had the assistive technology that was started off before smartphones were around, and that's kept on going and kept getting better and better and better. But people who make smartphones have really identified that some people that are going to want to use smartphones might have accessibility requirements, so they've just added it on.
We talk about then the difference between the sort of technology that if someone comes to you and they want to be more independent at home, what would be some of the things that you think are real, I suppose I'm going to use a cliche and say game changers that really make independent living an awful lot easier?
I think I would start off with smart technology. So I would recommend Alexas or Google Homes. So, for example, I'm really horrendous. I can never remember on a Friday which bins to put out, whether it's the green bin or the blue bin or the brown bin. I could set up on my Alexa a reminder that said, this Friday, take the green bin out. I know it's silly, but actually, that's a great way of reminding you in the morning what bin to take out. Or you might not be able to use the keyboard or to use the touch screen very well on a smartphone. But if you've got technology like Alexa, like Siri or OK Google turned on, you can actually send a message to someone in your contacts just by using your voice.
What about your experience of other sort of technology around sort of general things, like I'm thinking of the way that you have robo-vax and those kind of things now?
I certainly think if you have got mobility issues, having a robo-vac is a really, really good thing because it can take away one of those chores. Not many people like vacuuming. This sort of technology, although it's designed for everybody, if you've got additional needs, if you've got a disability, if you're older and your mobility isn't as great as it was, I think this technology is amazing. I went to see a show home at a disabled living centre the other day, and they had lights that could be voice controlled. They had blinds and curtains that could be voice controlled. They had a fire. You could say, Alexa, turn fire on or fire off. And I think for all these tasks that a lot of people take for granted, they can help people with disabilities so much. And I think it's about making sure that people can live independently. But I know there's people still living with parents or relations or with carers because they find tasks difficult. Using smart technology to automate them can be life-changing. It really can.
If there are two main things I would take away from what Alex said, is that in most cases the answer is out there, and it's cheaper than we think it's going to be. I also wonder if we sometimes overcomplicate things for ourselves by thinking about how hard to understand the solution might be. Because as Alex said, one of his first experiences with technology was a pencil grip. Hardly complicated technology, but the very definition of assistive technology for him. Before I spoke to Alex, I thought we used technology in our house quite a lot. For the record, my daughter is very independent at home, and a lot of that is built on her use of smart tech. And yes, we have a robo-vac. But I'm now wondering what else my daughter, and me for that matter, could be using. Not ignoring the other issues around phone usage, our phones are essentially an assistive technology device in our pockets. But right now I'm hoping to get to the point where my daughter doesn't look at me in despair when I type something into Google rather than using Siri to do it for me so much quicker. In next week's episode, it's part 2 of my conversation with Alex, and we'll be talking about technology and how that can support people in the workplace. I just wanted to say thank you for taking the time to listen, and I hope that the stories and the solutions shared on here help you as you support your young person to create their future. And if you know anyone who would find the ideas useful, please share the podcast with them. Of course, if you want to, you can leave a review, because that is another way families who need this information can find it more easily. This show is created as part of Red Giraffe Solutions. To find out what the Red Giraffe is all about, visit redgiraffesolutions.com, where you'll find more resources around daily living, relationships, purpose and financial security. I'm at Deborah Caldo on Instagram and Facebook. You can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I'd love to have a conversation with you on any of those. Bye for now.